How y'all doing today? We got another one. We got a good one. We got something called the Future Civilization Infrastructure of America. How y'all doing in the chat? What's good, Sweet G? Everybody who getting coming in here, I appreciate y'all joining me. And today we're gonna have something real inspirational for the builders and the architects of the new world. And without further ado, let's get into it. The Future Civilization Infrastructure of America as a matriarchal civilization. Y'all give me a little minute. I'm gonna get up off the screen and we're gonna get straight to it. Can you hear me pretty good? Y'all can hear me in the chat? I sound good? All right, so for this presentation, I got for y'all the Future Civilization Infrastructure of America as a matriarchal civilization. We're gonna get into the settlement and city design. We're gonna get into architecture, agriculture, transportation, housing, education networks. We're gonna get into healthcare systems. We're gonna get into energy and infrastructure. We're gonna get into economic systems, cultural infrastructure, governance infrastructure, ecological restoration, and we're gonna get into, can't see the last one. Let me see what the last one is. All right, and then we're gonna get into planetary intelligence network. All right, so without further ado, let's get into it. We're gonna start with number one, settlement and city design. So settlement and city design in the futuristic civilization infrastructure of America will be consisted of bioregional cities designed for the land, water, and climate, circular settlements, resource loops, create self-sustaining communities, village cluster networks, connected villages, share resources, culture, and solutions, walkable communities, people first design promotes health, connection, and joy, food integrated everywhere, food forests, gardens, water integrated everywhere. Clean water flows through the city, nourishing all life. We're going to have wildlife corridors, protected pathways to ensure wildlife thrives. We're going to have sacred ecological reserves to ensure that nature is protected, honored, and cared for as sacred. And then we're going to have transportation above and beneath, seamless movement with minimal impact on ecosystems. So in the settlement and city design, we got to have river-centered cities. And river-centered cities is because the rivers are the heart. And it's going to consist of water plazas and cleansing is going to be hydropower and ecology, and it's going to be river transit systems. We're going to have terrace communities built with the land, erosion prevention, food terraces, and stunning natural beauty. It's going to consist of forest integrated architecture, homes amongst the trees, living roofs and walls, passive cooling, and coexistent with nature. Uh, More entails to the future civilization infrastructure of America is going to consist of mountain settlements, elevated and resilient, clean air and water, geothermal energy, protected ecosystems. We're also going to have coastal regenerative settlements, ocean imbalance, mangrove restoration, tidal energy, and aquaculture, coastal protection. And why is this important? Because we're moving into a new age, a new era, a living network of communities from mountains to oceans, deserts to forests. Our settlements are designed to heal the land, uplift people, and honor our ancestors and future generations. People, land, and water are one. Communities are designed for belonging. We build for 7 generations and beyond. Culture, ceremony, and nature are all the center, and sovereignty, resilience, and self-reliance guide us. All right, let's get into the next slide. How y'all doing in the chat? That sound like a future y'all be want to invest in? Well, get ready because it's gonna be the future civilization of America. Let's get into the next slide. So the next slide we got Architecture. So the architecture in the future civilization of America is going to consist of curved structures that flow with the land and wind, flowing forms inspired by water, wind, and life, earth integrated buildings rooted in landscape, tree inspired architecture, branches, canopies, life support and life, and water flowing through structures, purifying, cooling, and connecting. And it's going to have living architecture features, passive cooling, which is natural ventilation, shade, thermal mass, earth integration. Is going to be geothermal integration, earth coupled systems for heating, cooling, and energy, solar harmonics, integrated solar design aligned with sun paths and seasonal rhythms. What y'all think about that? You think that's a good future you'll want to be invested in? It's going to be aquifer replenishment designed to return clean water back to the earth, living walls, plants that purify air, insulate and support biodiversity, living roofs, green roofs that cool, feed, and restore ecosystems, biofiltration systems, which are natural systems that clean water, air, and waste. There's going to be fractal geometry, patterns of nature for strength and beauty flow, and sacred proportional designs, mathematics of life, alignment, symbolism, and harmony. And that's going to be the architecture of the future civilization of America. Let's get into the next slide. We got to speak into existence, and we got to see it from our mind. We got to have a vision. So this is for the builders and the architects of the new world. I'm going to give y'all the blueprint. So the next slide, we got agriculture. Food systems become ecosystem. Our farms are communities. Our communities are family. Our future is abundant. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. You know how I do it. So with agriculture and future civilization of America, we grow in harmony with the earth, not against her. Food is medicine. Soil is life. Seeds are freedom. We move from extraction, which is monoculture, chemical dependency, soil degradation, seed control, water depletion, and food deserts to regeneration, which consists of food forests, agroforestry systems, living soil restoration, seed sovereignty, water abundance, and community abundance. So we're in the future civilization of America in regards to agriculture is going to consist of massive food forests, which are thousands of edible trees and plants, year-round harvest, habitat for wildlife, and climate resistant. Going to have fruit-bearing landscapes, native fruit trees and berries, nuts, seeds, and shrubs, beauty that feeds, abundance for all. Going to have integrated gardens, vegetables, herbs, flowers, companion planting, intensive nutrition, small spaces, and big impact. And the reason why I already know this is going to be because we already have people doing it right now. They just doing it on their individual, but once we come together into this new world, then it's gonna be a community base, and we're gonna start. At some point, we're gonna put our ends together. We're gonna come together and get our own communities to be the leaders of the new world, to show people what it's gonna look like, how it's gonna be. And all right, so we're gonna have aquaponic terraces with fish plus plants in harmony. It's gonna be water recirculation, high productivity, and minimal waste. We're going to have community harvest circles where we grow together, we harvest together, we share together, and we thrive together. So let's get into the next slide. Appreciate y'all for being here with me. I'm going to try to move through this pretty quick, but not too quick. There's a lot going on. So in the future civilization of America, as far as transportation, we're going to have solar transit systems, which is solar powered trains and buses and personal transit, zero emissions, clean, renewable, reliable, integrated with microgrids. We're going to have magnetic transit corridors, high speed, quiet maglev, connects bio-regional hubs, low energy, high efficiency, safe, smooth, and accessible. There's going to be autonomous, ecological transit, AI guided electric pods. There's going to be river transit systems, clean water transport, connects communities, low impact, high capacity. We're going to have underground freight systems, which moves goods beneath the surface. There's going to be wildlife safe transportation, which is wildlife crossings, habitat bridges and tunnels, smart fencing and sensors protecting all living beings. There's going to be pedestrian and bicycle networks, walkable, beautiful communities, safe bicycle superhighways, human scale design, healthier people, stronger communities. And we're going to have air transit and drone systems, clean energy aerial transit. So what else are we going to have in the future civilization in regards to transport? We're going to have integrated multimodal hubs. All modes connect seamlessly. Quiet and efficient movement, peaceful travel, more time for life. Regenerative infrastructure. Every system gives back to the earth. Accessible for all. Mobility is a human right. Technology in service of life, guided by ethics, designed for care, 7 generations and beyond. We design for those yet to come. All right, let's get into it. Next slide. Number 5, for the future civilization, infrastructure of America. In regards to housing, we're going to have housing for all, multi-generational living, community and design, integrated food systems, which food grows where we live, gardens, orchards, and herb spaces are everywhere. There's going to be culture and identity, ecological harmony, earth integrated, energy efficient, water abundant, and balance with nature. Is no isolation. Community is the foundation. We architect belonging. We design for life together. There's going to be family compounds consisting of private spaces, shared courtyards, grow food together, celebrate together. There's going to be elder housing. There's going to be multi-generational homes, community courtyards, and integrated food systems. There's also going to be beautiful homes, and it's going to be living in harmony. Homes flow with the land and respect with nature. There's going to be water integrated. Clean water flows through every neighborhood, and green and alive. Trees, plants, and life are everywhere. So let's get into the next slide. So for the next slide, in regards to the future civilization infrastructure of America, in regards to education networks, we're going to have open learning sanctuaries, natural classrooms, flowing spaces open to all ages, mentorship circles, wisdom houses, ecological learning centers where hands-on learning on gardens, water, soil, sustainability is going to be innovation hubs in regards to science and technology, green engineering, future building. There's going to be cultural preservation centers, skills and vocation guild halls, and Earth and Cosmo observatories where we focus on astronomy, navigation, cosmic understanding. Now, this is in the near future, so I know y'all may feel like, well, look where we at now. You'll be surprised at what tomorrow may be. So intergenerational learning, circle of learning, science in service of life, arts, music, and movement, where we express the soul of our people. There's going to be libraries of wisdom, knowledge across time and space, and community projects. Let's get into the next slide. Move through this pretty quick because there's a lot going on in these slides. All right, so in regards to that, let's see. I think that's healthcare systems. All right, so healthcare systems that restore and elevate life. Health becomes preventative is going to be community centered and wisdom guided. So our health, our community, our future. There's going to be wellness sanctuaries, which is holistic care, preventative screenings, mind, body, spirit healing, and family wellness support. There's going to be nutrition centers, herbal medicine gardens, trauma healing centers, and movement spaces. And it's going to be prevention today, vitality tomorrow, measured by what matters, which is ecological health, community wellness, generational resilience, spiritual balance, and social harmony. So this is important because you feel me, food is important, wellness is important, and wellness and food go together because without the wellness of the food determines the wellness of your body. So there's going to be elder wisdom, my bad, elder wisdom, guiding with experience, honor, and tradition, youth empowerment, education, mentorship, and purpose, integrative medicine, blending traditional wisdom with modern science, water and healing, hydrotherapy, purification, and deep restoration, art and expression, healing through creativity, story, culture, nature therapy, reconnecting with the earth that heals us, and maternal and child health, nurturing life from the very beginning, and community wellness hub, united in care, strong in community. All right, so let's get into. I appreciate you for being here with me, taking the time out your day to support me. You feel me? We're gonna get into the next slide. The next slide we have in regards to the future civilization infrastructure of America. We're going to have energy infrastructure that consists of geothermal fields, solar harmonics, microgrids, localizing energy, resilient and adaptable, smart distribution, energy independence. There's going to be community energy systems, kinetic harvesting, regenerative energy networks, which is interconnected systems, nature aligned tech, and self healing grids that's future proof. We're going to have a geothermal power plant, clean energy from the heart of the earth, solar canopy communities, powering daily life with the sun, wind and kinetic towers, harvesting wind in harmony, water energy systems, rivers that give life, also give power, microgrid control center, smart systems that's for resilient communities, energy storage hubs, storing today for tomorrow, community installation, we build, we maintain, and we own. And there's going to be nighttime energy network that's connected, secure, and sustainable. So I can already see this, and if I wasn't able to see it, I wouldn't be able to perceive it and achieve it. And we're gonna achieve it no matter what. We got so many people that's intelligent and that's into the AI, into agriculture, into building, into architecture. So as long as we come together, we can make that happen. Let's go to the next slide. This slide is economic systems that serve life. Once again, I appreciate y'all for taking the time out y'all day to be here with me. Economic systems that serve life, community, cooperation, creativity, care, 7 generations and beyond. Is going to consist of renewable energy, is going to consist of innovation sanctuaries, artisan districts, regenerative markets, circular resource systems, nothing wasted, everything renewed. We're going to have financial systems, ethical, transparent, community focused, local production. We're going to have community councils where we decide together, we rise together. It's also going to consist of skills and vocations where we teach, learn, create, and thrive. And it's going to be generative wealth. Let's get into the next slide. If y'all want to look at this slide a little bit longer, it's a pretty much beautiful slide to ensure the future within your mind. Just go ahead and anchor that right quick before I move on. All right, we're going to move on to the next slide. So the next slide is going to consist of 9, which is the cultural infrastructure. The cultural infrastructure, we're going to have cultural centers. We're going to have storytelling circles, music sanctuaries, dance plazas, artistic districts. We're going to have language preservation centers, wisdom libraries, spiritual sanctuaries, heritage workshops, and cultural museums. And my bad if I'm moving through this pretty fast, but it's a lot going on. So within the storytelling circles, we're going to have oral traditions honored, elders share wisdom, youth carry the stories, identity through narrative. Let's see, the outdoor cinema. And the outdoor cinema, stories on the big screen under the stars. Gonna be youth innovation labs with creativity plus culture equals technology, solving real problems. We're gonna have public art and murals, our history painted for all to see. And we're gonna have public elder mentorship and sacred landscapes where monuments, gardens, and spaces that honor our journey. Let's get into the next slide. Next slide, we have a community assembly. Our decisions are measured against 7 generations, ecosystem impact, and societal well-being. This is, I believe, this is just something to show y'all. So we're gonna move into the next slide of how we're gonna come together and govern ourselves and whatnot through community governance. Let's get into the next slide. Ecological restoration networks, large infrastructure project we will ever build. 7 generations, one earth, one responsibility. So as an ecological restoration network, we got to start back planting into the earth and, restoring the earth to where it should be. We're going to restore the rivers, clean water returns, natural flow revive, life flourishes. We're going to restore wetlands. We're going to restore forests. We're going to restore the soil. We're going to restore aquifers, and it was going to be wildlife migration corridors, habitats reconnected, wildlife protected, ecosystems in balance. We're going to have traditional ecological knowledge that consists of ancient wisdom, modern solutions rooted in truth, youth eco warriors, educated, empowered, and committed to earth, guardians of tomorrow. It's going to be nature plus culture plus spirit that consists of ceremony, respect, reciprocity, and restoration. And we're going to monitor, measure, and heal. Science guides us, data empowers us, we adapt and we evolve. Let's get into the next slide. And this is the last slide. I appreciate y'all for being here with me. So for this last slide, it's going to be Planetary Intelligence Network, the next evolution after the data centers that we last talked about in the last presentation. Planetary Intelligence Network is going to consist of ecological AI, nature-informed algorithms, regenerative modeling, local plus planetary intelligence, wisdom plus science integrated. We're going to have climate restoration systems, carbon drawdown tracking, reforestation monitoring, soil and atmosphere healing, predictive restoration, watershed monitoring, water quality tracking, flow plus flood prediction, wetland health analysis, and community alerts. Is going to be biodiversity monitoring, species population tracking, habitat health mapping, wildlife corridor monitoring, invasive species alert. We're going to have planetary wellness dashboard. We're going to have a cultural wisdom plus data, which consists of indigenous knowledge systems, ancestral environmental laws, place-based intelligence, and ethics of stewardship. There's going to be community data sovereignty, open source to ecotech. We're going to have youth innovation labs and global stewardship council with elder councils, scientific councils, ecological councils, and youth councils. And that's what we're going to have in the future in regards to the infrastructure of America as a matriarchal civilization. Now we're going to have our own, and they may have their own until they all are kicked out or whatever, how we handle that. But as far as us, this is what we need to do. We need to build. We need to build. We need to be the architects. We need to come together with the people that we can come together with to show people to be the because a lot of people will hear what you're saying, but they won't value your words. So you got to show them. You got to lead by example. Once you show them what you're doing, then they're gonna start to catch on. So once again, I appreciate y'all for being here with me, and I'm up out of here. Most definitely, each generation with the council, most definitely. I appreciate y'all for being here with me, and we finna get up out of here. I don't know what the next lecture may be, but I remember I once said I was gonna do something about a wellness center, but we gonna see. I'm pretty much tapped out. I might take a rest for a couple of days. I appreciate y'all.